Hello everyone, this is Ashley Tucker. Thank you for joining me today. Today I want to share a card that I created using some brand new inks from Altenew. Altenew just released 3 new collections of inks. Each collection has 4 different inks in it, and I'm going to be showing you the Tranquility collection in today's video. These are some really beautiful blue inks, and I'm going to be using all 4 of them to create a wintry nighttime forest. That first color that I stamped is the lightest of the 4 colors, and it's called Misty Morning. And the second one that I'm stamping right here is called Cloudy Sky, and it's the next darkest color. The next 2 colors that I use are called Nimbus and Dark Night. I'm stamping these in order from lightest to darkest, and then I'm going to start over again, and I'm going to keep stamping this triangle repeatedly across the page. I absolutely love that Dark Night color. I think it is such a beautiful blue. You might have noticed that the cardstock that I'm using is not white. It's actually a really light gray. I wanted to use light gray because I plan on adding a lot of snow on this later, and I want the white from the snow to really stand out. I was really impressed with how well these colors worked on the gray cardstock. Wasn't exactly sure if it was going to work out when I started. This is actually the first time I've ever used Altenew inks, and I have to say that I absolutely love them. They make such a clean and crisp impression, and the ink pads are nice and juicy, and I was just overall really impressed. The triangle that I'm using to create my trees is from the SOHCAHTOA stamp set from Altenew, and I just have that in my Misty, and thank goodness for the Misty because it makes it so much easier to do this. I found that all I had to do was move up my paper a square and a half, and that was the perfect amount of space for stamping my next triangle. I'm going to be turning this card into a shaker, so I cut out a small rectangular frame from some white cardstock, and I'm using my liquid adhesive in order to add a plastic sheet onto that frame for my shaker window. Next, I took my stamped panel and I cut it down to be the same size as my shaker frame, and then I took a white gel pen and I started to add a bunch of white dots all across that panel, and this is going to look like snow. I added a doubled up layer of foam tape all the way around my shaker frame, and then I took some clear micro pearls and I placed them onto my background. Now looking back on this, I probably should have placed them on my shaker frame so that they wouldn't have gone everywhere, but lesson learned. And then I picked out some large clear glitter and I scooped a spoonful of that onto the background as well. I made sure to push all of those micro pearls to the center of the panel before adding my frame so that I didn't have any of them get stuck between the foam tape and the background. And then I very carefully lined up that frame with the background and placed it. Using my ATG tape runner, I added some adhesive to the back of that shaker, and then I adhered it onto a dark blue card base. For my sentiment, I picked out a stamp which says hello, and this is from the same SOHCAHTOA stamp set that the triangle came from, and I'm stamping that onto some white cardstock with the Altenew Dark Night ink. I cut that down into a strip, and then I'm going to adhere that right onto my shaker window with some liquid adhesive, and I actually put way too much glue on it at first, so I just used my finger in order to blot some of that up so that I wouldn't have any of that glue oozing out of the sides. With that, this card is all done. The scene is so peaceful that I wanted to keep it really simple. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed today's card design. All of the supplies that I used for this card can be found in the description down below, and remember that anytime you click on one of those links, you're helping to support my channel at no extra cost to you. Today's video is part of a blog hop from Altenew, so be sure to head over to my blog to see all of the inspiration and to hop along. I have a couple more cards on there using the other collections in this ink release. Again, thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.